is ambitious. Young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted. Flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up?
Now we're cooking. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just a beautiful afternoon for football, Coach. They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. It's been a lost first month of the season, that's for sure, as they come in with an 0-4 record.
And the window's not shut on them, though. They still have a chance to make something out of this season, but it has to start right now.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
They'll run on first down. Milton, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me.
And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many? 7.
I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Off the play fake. Quick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Here comes Cohen. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Check out, look, squeeze.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Cook able to escape. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Back to throw. Bartholomew. And that is incomplete. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ball game.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
I-7.
To throw again. Bartholomew. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. It's a gain of 35.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Come get it.
They'll run with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The numbers in last week's ball game for Robinson. 4 catches, 70 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Looking to throw. Quick, and that's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Quick. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. On the return is Cohen. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and boy, they get downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes.
Go. 70, Indy.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
Tight dog. Look at me. Go. Ready?
They go play action here on first down. That's caught at the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That goes for a gain of 31. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play.
Go.
Right there. 54. Right there.
Go.
On first and 10, Bartholomew. It's caught, Smith. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. The starting 11 defensively for the Bears.
Leonard Floyd's athleticism can be scary good, and one advantage he has now in the NFL is that he's finally at one position and one position only. When he's at the University of Georgia, he played inside linebacker, played outside linebacker, he played defensive end, almost depended on down and distance. Now strictly an outside linebacker with one key responsibility: go get the quarterback.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. They'll get this complete into the hands of Riley Ridley. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Back to throw. Quick. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
This is brought in at the 21. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing to start the drive. Bartholomew. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Cook following the penalty. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check.
Cook. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining.
15-1.
Tighten up. Pull together. Switch it.
Alpha. Check. Hey, Sam on.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 21-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. There's nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. Looking to throw. Quick. That is caught by Cohen. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
He's got him in, complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 55 yards.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Touchdown, Chicago. It's their quarterback. His first touchdown on the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Throwing on 3rd and long. Bartholomew. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Going to be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8, and the Bears take over. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better, maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On 3rd down, Milton. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
Even though that one was incomplete, you could see the training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though, extend the life of the play. Keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking, and got his man complete. 30 yards there, and of course the 1st down as well. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
On 1st down, Bartholomew. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, and anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guy.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Sponge! No!
Hey, lock it.
Hit it.
Back to throw. Bartholomew. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
You got tight right there. He's checking.
You're out.
36.
Hey, Delta. Snap.
From the gun, Bartholomew. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on second and goal. Now Cook. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up second and goal at the 4-yard line.
So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've got the lead right now, and last week they were able to defeat the Atlanta Falcons here as they try to make it 2 victories in a row. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to fire one deep left side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. An excellent gain, 35 yards. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big gain.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Throwing on first down. Bartholomew. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
Throwing again. Bartholomew. And he completes it to Cohen. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie because usually your rookie season is in a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Back to the air on second down. Quick, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And now it's third down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And Robinson with a big catch. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 22.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He's got Burton here. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Operating from the gun. Quick. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Danielle Hunter. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner. And I don't think, with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. And now out comes Minnesota. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Check 43. Check the backer. Check the backer. Check 24. Check 24. Now.
Off play action. Bartholomew under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Roquan Smith able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. From the gun, Bartholomew. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Operating from the gun, Bartholomew. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Check 4, check 4. Kill, 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 kill. Bang, 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 bang. Now.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
McManus's point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On the draw, this is Cohen. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Let's go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Quick. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw. Unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
They'll look to set up his blockers. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Set. 30 base. Look. Squeeze.
Here we go.
Get it.
Off the bootleg. Bartholomew. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Bartholomew. Gonna throw right side here. Complete. They'll get 34 yards there.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10.
Wide. Hey, lock it. Let's go. Ready.
They run. Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 10-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on.
And this is the kind of day a running back dreams of. They keep handing him the ball, and he keeps taking it in for touchdowns.
Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Makes the score Vikings
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
That's it, baby.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, quick, and tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Here's Matt Wild now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down to close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Come on. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Kill, kill, kill. Undercrush, undercrush.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter of play. Back now at Soldier Field, and this is... a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
He's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up. Save, save, save. Check, check. Ready, go.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they called the field general.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Check, 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 check. Hatchet, hatchet. Check,
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
check tight. Check tight. Alert 3. Let's go.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All right, D. Hey, alert 3, alert 3. He's coming. Squeeze, squeeze, get in there. Ready.
And to give this time to the tailback. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. And this one's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now a run with Cook. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On 3rd and 2, quick, and that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team. When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
Delay of game, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Still 2nd down.
So the delay of game penalty backs him up. It's now 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning.
I got him. Check it out,
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a third and about 5.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
That was third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Quick. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun. Quick. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Matt Weil now. He's been terrific so far. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Ready. 53 is the mark. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Hut.
And they take a knee.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 49-yard line.
Hey. 4 down.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year.